Morning, Malar.
Good
The
morning.
universe is stretching us. Let's put it there.
Since we are talking about resilience today morning, our resilience is being tested. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. We have early riser. Good morning, Soma Sundram. He accidentally bumped into our live session last week and he's joined us again. This guy is star by himself. All right, so Sham, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Good morning, KL.
I am good.
And why are you not in pink today? Can you tell me?
Because I needed some sunshine in my life.
Okay.
It was feeling really dark, and I said, I need something bright to brighten me.
Right, you're okay. Pink was not enough, huh? You needed a yellow
I
zig.
needed yellow, and maybe I'm just excited about meeting you soon. So first yellow, then probably orange. But let's say good morning. Hi, Louis, Mariah. Good morning. Good morning, Soma.
Morning, Louis.
And we have a very interesting guest today, Sham.
Yes. Now the question is if we're going to see her because of some technical glitch that we're trying to sort out in the back end. But yeah, yeah, we're going to speak to. Fingers crossed. All right. Double. I don't know. I can't do it more than my two fingers. Fingers crossed. We're going to speak to Emillya Soesanto. She is a banker through and through. I just found out that, she's only been in banking. She's only ever worked in banks, right? So there must be something there I think we can dig out in terms of, why, and more than that, right? So Emillya Soesanto is our guest. And, we met Emil. She likes to be called, we call her Emil. We met Emil about a year ago when we were doing some programs for her team. And one of the things that struck me, and I really was, I'm amazed, I'm still amazed, and I'm also very, very grateful, the fact that she was so involved in that development process that we were going through with the team, right? She was very vested. She put in time and effort at every session to, come in and talk to us before the session, give us her take on it, and then after the session, go through debriefs and things like that. So it's a woman very vested in learning and development, I think in growth, not just for herself, but for her team. That's Emil, and is she on
the
backstage for us?
She's good. She's good.
Okay, very good.
Wow.
Lady.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for trying so hard, and thanks for arriving in Malaysia, Singapore border safely.
Good to see you.
I usually have low blood pressure, but I think now my blood pressure.
Yeah, I was just going to say I've never seen Malar so flustered. Usually it's the other way around. It's the other way around. I'm the one who'll be doing like that, and usually the cool cat in the
Okay, Emil, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us safely. And you are on a vacation.
on holiday.
No,
Yeah, I was going to ask.
not at all. Not at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
actually,
sorry,
so
you're about
actually, I have a regulatory audit in other cities, so I have to go to Bandung, so West Java. Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm in
okay.
Bandung now. Yeah.
Okay, I am absolutely jealous. Okay, I'm absolutely jealous. So one is Bandung is a lovely place, but more than that, Bandung is very cool, and we're very, very hot right now where we're sitting. I mean, the weather is very hot. Emil, I was just telling Malar this morning that I didn't realize until this morning, literally, that you've only ever been in banking. You've only ever worked in the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, is that by design, by choice, or was it, the universe decided, or the fates decided that that's where you would be, and so there you are. So tell us, why?
Oh, okay. Actually, only in bank and only one bank. So
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, back when I was in university, my major was finance, right? Corporate finance. But then when I went back to Indonesia, um, I think there are more opportunities in banking compared to corporate finance. So that's why I applied to this bank and I got accepted. The interesting part is because I've I feel that in every role that I took and in every role that I have been taken, I feel like there is role expansion and also development. So throughout my career, I think I have taken several different roles from single contributor, and now I'm leading almost 300 people under my team. So I think that's the background, and I think I've been enjoying every stage of the development itself. Like last year when I met you, Sharm and Malar, I took a new role as sales and distribution head, and believe it or not, that's I think that's like breaking the bias actually. Yeah, breaking the
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so I've got two questions actually. One, but let me ask you the obvious one, and then we go into the bias question, right? So you said that, in all the roles that you have taken from an individual contributor to where you are right now, it's always been about expansion, and the words you use, expansion learning, right? It's growth. You are growing in it. Was it a function of the bank's culture, or was it a function of the leaders that you were working with?
I think it's both. I think it's both because the culture is very important. If there are some companies like maybe I think it depends on the culture of the company itself, Sharm. Some companies are open for internal movement, but then if you don't get the support from your leader, it's impossible to take the ladder, right? To step up, and also to develop yourself. So I think it works both ways. Yeah.
Always. Okay.
Yeah.
I am biased because I've been working with the bank that you are with for a while, so I know a little bit about the cultures. I mean, I'm working from the outside in. I always am from the outside in coming in. So I think you're right. It is the culture definitely does play a role in that.
Yeah.
And of course, I think you've also been very blessed with the leaders that you've been working with in your progress, right? Yeah. You said your current role was about breaking the bias. It broke the bias. Tell us a little bit more about that. What do you mean by your current role, or being in that role is about breaking biases?
Yeah, I know this month is International Women Day month, and
Yeah.
also the theme is all about women and breaking the bias. But in my opinion, breaking the bias is not only about gender; it's
Mm,
Nice.
also about breaking the bias about how people see you. And sometimes when you are taking a new role, especially from someone who have been in
mm,
that role for a long time, of course, everybody is questioning whether she can do it or she cannot do it. She's still too
mm,
young, or maybe like, uh, are you too old for that role? Are you too young for that role?
mm.
It's not only about gender, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah. So when I took that role, I'm replacing someone who have been in that role for more than 20 years.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Of course, there are a lot of challenges, and also I'm managing people who are older than me, younger than me, and also
mm,
some are more seniors than me.
mm, mm.
Yeah. And I think I've shared with you and Malar as well the challenges, and also all the thought that she wouldn't be able to be the same, to lead as good as the previous person that I
Predecessor.
replaced. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So she wouldn't be the same. She wouldn't be the same like the other leader,
Mm,
right? And
yeah.
you were in, like you said, in an interesting position in that it was nothing to do with gender because the other leader was it's very easy to say it's a gender thing, right?
Yeah.
That you're
Yeah.
taking on, right? But at the same time, your predecessor is female. She's a lady as well, right? And then she's been in that role for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting insight. Malar, I know you have a question that you want to ask. You have that look.
So, Emil, so when I heard you say, it's not just about gender, which I really liked, because we
Yes.
tend to assume the most obvious external difference that we see, right? But you did say, some people might think you're too young because the previous person was in the role for 20 years, too young, too old, and all of this. Now, when you said that, all of this bias, whether that all the criticism that you're hearing, all the negative voices that you're hearing, right? That you might be too young, or with other people they might be too old. That's the other thing that we hear. So these voices are coming from where? Is it within you, or you actually have heard people saying that about you?
Both, Malar. So basically, um, when I take a role, normally I'm very confident that I can do it. Okay. But this role is different. So
Mm.
because there are a lot of voices out there who are saying, can I do it? Or she won't be as good as the predecessor. It
Mm,
makes me doubt about myself. And
mm,
I like to quote before we started this session, just before we start this session, that sometimes the bias, creating unconscious bias. So
mm,
all these questions about my capability makes me doubt about myself, and at some point I become so judgmental to other people, to my team,
mm,
and it's starting to um, drag me out of the track.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So, but I was very blessed with the leader because I think communication with leader is very important. So I talked to him and then I said, I got this issue, questions about my capability, and also I think I need some advice, and also I need some support. So
Mm,
to to talk and to admit that we need help from our leader, and also from for me, my support system is also my HR team.
mm,
So, and also they connect me with how about if we create a training like to engage with the team? And I met you both, Sharm and Malar, and I learned a lot throughout the process about building trust and also engage with the team and getting back on track, like what is the purpose that I'm here, what is my goals, and what I want to do for the team, not only for myself. And yeah, I think everything goes back on track from there, like sometimes you
Sorry.
focus on what you can control and focus on your goal. I think everything will work around,
Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed that you use this word feedback quite a bit in what you were just saying and sharing with us, right? And I want to just take that. I want to just go down that route a little bit. I know Malar is already plotting the next question around what you said. Focus on something, probably. But I noticed that you, and it's also my experience that you look for feedback or you ask for feedback. You're very comfortable asking for feedback, and you're also very comfortable giving feedback, right? So it's almost like a balance, right? For you, feedback is, for me, it seems to me that feedback is important to you. And so my question would be, is this a natural thing, that you have been doing? Is it something that you developed because of an experience? Why is it so? Why is like you automatically look to your leader and said, I want to have a chat with you, right? You had a chat with us after knowing us for a very short period of time, right? You had a chat with us as well, and I'm sure, and you had many chats with us regarding several different things, which all got to do around feedback. So
Yeah.
so why or how did it become, a tool or something that's important for you?
Well, I think getting feedback, especially honest feedback, is very, very important. Very important in terms like, rather than hearing this and that, and you don't know whether it's true or not, it's better to ask. Sometimes we assume, right? Okay, because she says this, because I heard from someone that she's talking about me, I would rather come to that person and ask, is that true? Or throughout my, I think, 18 years of careers, I think feedback is very important. And it has been culture of the company as well to get a feedback. And it's not just from one or two person in our annual performance review. We call it 360-degree feedback, Yeah. And and I believe feedback is one of the key component which enable me to be where I am now, and part of my succeed, because feedback can be constructive if you take it positively and also to act on it.
You're very comfortable with feedback, and you're very confident with feedback. Yeah. You are very comfortable and confident with feedback.
Yeah, and please, managing 300 people, you will get a lot of feedback.
But what I realized working with Emil is this, right? Usually as vendors, when we go into a meeting, typically we often, when we go into a meeting, they're going to give you what they call constructive and negative feedback. Right? Usually it's when you've done something not well enough or not good enough. So like you're just waiting. So every time it's like, very seldom clients will say, let's have a meeting because you've done well. Right? But what I realized with you also, I'm going into this meeting and like, okay, going to go, I don't know what they're going to say. And I'm expecting a constructive feedback, And what you do is that, because we did a long-term development program, and what I realized is that I became a lot more comfortable because I know that you would address what went well, and if sometimes
Mm.
things went well, the conversation was about things went well. And what I took back working with you guys, your culture is that feedback is actually safe, because whether you tell me positive or negative, constructive or not, you are actually telling me the truth, and I feel
Mm.
safe coming into your space. And that's a
Yeah,
feedback I want to give, both, I mean, to you and to your culture, right? Because
yeah,
you exhibited what it means to create a safe psychological safety culture.
yeah. But then you have to prepare yourself, yeah, Malar and Sharm, and start to get constructive feedback, as you
Yeah,
said, and
Mm.
yeah,
also the positive one. Accepting a positive one will be very, very easy, right? Constructive one, not very. But after
Mm.
sometimes, and if you can take what is she trying to say, or what is he trying to say, and what can what is the positive thing that I can take out of it, I think it will do good.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the
Mm.
context, I think what you do with your communication, in this difficult conversation, is that you really spend a lot of time. You give enough time in giving context, was my experience, because you would have thought about it. And so when you come in, there's a richness in the context that you're giving, that it's focused on the context more than whether it's positive or negative. And
Yeah,
it's not always
correct.
about moving forward. So I felt that, you really, I think I've said this to Sham a couple of times. I said these group of leaders are really a different breed, right? As I say that, Mashi has come in to say hello to you. She said, "Well done for this session, Emil." Right? I'm so used to calling her Mashi now. I can't call her Marshall Bian.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that makes me curious about you, right? I mean, I've always seen you in the Zen mode, right? You're always
Yeah,
Zen.
she's so zen, she's so in the, yeah, you're
In the
almost
Zen.
annoying and irritating,
Even when she's highly stressed, she's in the Zen mode,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, it's so zen. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and what caught my attention just now when you were talking about self-doubt, the voice inside and the voice that was outside. See, so what I'm getting from you is that I think we all get into the spaces when we get a role, any assignment that we're not sure whether we can meet the expectation. So where we
Mhm.
think we are, and where we think the expectation to meet the role is, and that's, I think that's a good space, because then what you do is that you sort of size up and say, okay, what do I now do I bring down the expectation? Do I grow? Right? So we're doing some of that stuff, right? But I think what was interesting for me and what's very courageous is that here you're going to your boss and saying, look here, you've promoted me. I must be good. I don't know. I must be good because I'm promoted. But I'm having all of these voices, both external feedback and my own voice, right? And
Uh-huh.
self-doubt is something a lot of us struggle to tell the most important person, which is your immediate superior,
Yeah.
because you want to be confident with that person, right? You want to put on this facade that I can do this. So it's not about whether I can do, but there is a doubt creeping into me. And you decided to speak to your immediate superior. Now, what what were you telling yourself? What courage? What sort of things you're saying to yourself, and what sort of courage do you hold? Because once you worried, and very often we're worried about what will my boss think about my capability when I don't seem to believe in my own capability. Yeah,
Mhm.
tell us what
Oh,
was right.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think since the beginning of my career, I'm lucky enough to have supervisors who always, being supportive. Okay. And I think what I want to tell to everybody here, it's okay to be not okay, And sometimes we are very vulnerable, right? As a leader, because we are also human and we have emotion. Sometimes we are tired. Sometimes, there are a lot of burden that a leader should carry. So I think talking to our supervisor is very important. Communication and being open. Telling your boss that you need help or you need support doesn't mean that you are weak or you are not be able to do your job properly. You know, instead, my goal is his goal, right? And I think we have the common purpose to see our team growing, to see the business growing. Of course, that's the goal. But along the way, there is a process. And especially when you are new to the role and you need to adapt, the team need to adapt. I think that's the critical process there. And having this communication and telling your supervisor what to do next. It's more like discussion. It's not like a statement like I want to give up and I cannot handle it. No, it's not like that. Yeah. So I think it's more to what to do. What should we do? Is it okay if I do this, or is it, like you don't come only with problem, but you also come with proposed solution. I think that's very important. So from there you can work on what is good and what is like having an agreed action, agreed plan. So you are not working alone, and your boss is also involved in the process. Yeah.
Thanks. So if for audiences who are listening, people who are probably also experiencing self-doubt, because we hear this and we read a lot about self-doubt and we pump ourselves with confidence. We feel that I need to pump energy so that I believe in myself, right? And what I'm hearing from you is that it's not lack of belief, but your self-doubt creeped in because you hear voices inside and outside. And what you're doing is you're taking it to a person who's not just interested, who might be interested in your career, but more than that, interested in a common goal, right? Now, can you share with us, like, before for leaders who are listening, right? You're a leader talking to another leader, right? What are some things that you think your leader did in helping you to overcome your doubt? So what did your leader do to give you the courage to say you'll be okay to talk to me and let's co-create the solution because we are both going towards the same goal? You are contributing to my success. So what was some things that you saw that you can share with us that your leader did so that other leaders, who are listening, who might be able to also get that out of you?
Yeah. I think he highlighted why he trusts me in that position. That's number one. And then number two, he's sharing about his challenge and also not only his challenge, the challenge that the team has, the challenge that the team is facing, and my background and my strength, of course, like for being so long with the company, that can help to bridging the gap. That's number two. So, and number three, he connect me to the right person, to like Marshi and the team, and it helps me to see from different point of view. So it helps me to go back on track, like I said, right? I have self-doubt, and to some point, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it, But meeting with someone who are experts in their fields, like you and Sharm and also Marshi, helping me a lot to help to know the team better, and also having the same expectation and also working on the same goals.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. It sounds like you and your leader are partners and collaborators, rather than, manager and individual and direct report. The relationship is different, right? The relationships has a different nuance that you're more as partners, you're working as partners and collaborating rather than a hierarchical kind of position. Nice.
I can
But
go one more.
go.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I love.
Oh, yeah, it's already.
Yeah, like Shisham can see one week to go. So what was really interesting again, right, for me is you had self doubt. You spoke to your superior, and what I also liked about him, and it seems very consistent with your culture, is that first is he's telling you, "Hello, we didn't simply promote you. Let me tell you all the reasons why you are on board." And by the way, I can actually see that you are probably experiencing a blind spot, but let me put in the additional mirror for you to see the things you can see and you can do, but also acknowledging that you might have some challenges, which is why there were interventions, right? And
Yeah,
what I also liked about what you said is the fact that he connected you to the right people, right?
yeah,
Now, and when we're talking about connecting, and you said, you felt that you could now draw on the experience of the expert, which means that you're not trying to be everything. You're not trying to say, I'm going to solve this problem myself. Look, I have a problem, but you know what? I have a solution. I'm not going to learn all of this on my own, but I'm going to pull in experts who can help me deal with my situation and my challenges very, very quickly. And what you did is you got on board people whom you call experts to help you resolve the challenges that you had identified, which might not have been your area of strength, but is required in your role, is what I'm hearing, right? Now,
yeah,
in this, in
exactly.
defining and deciding to work with these experts, right? Yeah. And when you bring in and pull in these experts and you put a program, whether it's a training program or other interventions that you've put together to help you get back on track. You were off track, and now you've got all these interventions that you put to bring you back on track, is what I'm actually hearing, right? Which I think is fantastic, right? Now, when you were going through and picking on these experts, how did you go about deciding? How do you get these various expertise and collaborators to come together, not only to put you on track, but to put your goals on track as a leader? How did you manage that?
Okay. Again, communication, Sharm and Malar. Yeah. Because working with people in different fields with different expertise requires the ability to combine, okay, to leverage as well their expertise. And then it's like putting a puzzle. So Marcia's expertise in HR field, and she knows my team very well internally from the inside of the organization. Like you and Malar can see the team from outside as external parties, right? And you can compare with other organization, like what needs to be done and what is good, what is bad, what is negative, what is positive, and like putting in the puzzle together.
Mm.
Yeah, until you have okay, this is what I need to do to achieve the goal and also to make the team work better.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice.
yeah.
What was your, like, if you think about, if you go back to when you first started, right? Because we had this Emil whom we met who was thinking a lot, right? I mean, you've always been calm in meetings, but you were thinking a lot, and I appreciated the amount of details you gave us so that we understood your situation. So very often, that's the most, if you trusted us first, right? You trusted us with the information, which is why we also are able to deal with it, right? So, and if you look at, and we looked at that Emil, and then we looked at the Emil, recently, and you were, I don't know whether to say a totally different person, but your presence was, you were so calm, and there was very, your languaging was very different, right? So
Mm.
something, for me, something major had happened to the Emil we have met, right? No, we always admired, and I think we gave you that feedback. But my question is this, right? If you think about your journey for where you were, having so many things that you were resolving, to being calm despite uncertainty, because the uncertainty is certain, the challenges are certain, especially with the current circumstances of running the business, right? Now, what was the most challenging crossroad you would say you
Mm-hmm.
faced for you to move from that stormy, chaotic situation to still stormy but anchored calmness? So, what was that major crossroad that you think major decision, major crossroad that you think you're conscious of that you made?
I think okay. Is Marcy here or not?
I think it's here.
Okay. I think the major crossroad is when we had what we call an NLP program, like new leadership program. So that's when we have a session. It's me and my one down, and also it's like a discussion, but then our HR was there to bridging between myself and my team. So basically, my team will tell to HR what is my strength, what is my weakness, what are their expectation. But then at the same time, in that session, I can tell the team as well what is my expectation to them. So having that session open my mind. So they also respect me for my strength and also my ability, and also for my reward and recognition that I got from my previous role, and why I should be in this role. So after that session, and the most important thing in that session, I also tell the team what is my goal for taking this role for them, for their development, and also for the organization. So from that moment, I can be more focused and I can work better, especially with my one down. And I think that's the most important thing, and also learning to trust the team. It's not only like work on day by day basis and do the BAU, to trust and to leverage their strength as well. So I think that's the crossroad. Yeah. So it's actually basically focus on what you can control. It's not, I cannot control what people say about me, right? Yeah. But I can control on what I want to do, what I want to achieve, and whether I want to leverage my team, I want to trust my team, or I don't trust my team. That's something that I can control. Yeah.
Nice, very, very nice.
Very nice. You seem
I was
sorry.
Karen, you go on.
Emil, what I realize about Emil is this, right? She is realigning over and over again, whether it's a conflict in values, goals, aspirations, compete. So every time you see you're going a little bit off track, you very quickly align with communication.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say communication.
Which then you say, okay, then with that communication, you reveal your blind spot, your unconscious, incompetence. You are able to do that. Say, I have a problem. Now I'm going to reveal, and when you have the conversation, you allow it to reveal your blind spot, and then you resolve it. And you realign back. And what I like about you, Emil, is this, right? I love it when you say, I don't think I'm good at this, but when you're good at something, you're also able to acknowledge that, you know what, I'm not good at this, but I'm good at all of this, but I'm going to bring all of this together. So what if I'm not good at this? And you say it so calmly. I mean, I have to blow my trumpet loudly, but you do it so calmly. So now, Sharm.
What I'm getting as I hear you share, Emil, in all the questions, one of the things that comes out very, very strongly is communication, and how communication for you is, one, very important. That's one. Number two is you are so confident in your skin that when there is a gap or of any sort, like, right, something that you don't know and you know that somebody else may know, you are so comfortable and confident in your skin to be able to go out and say, you know what, I don't know this, I know you know this, or some people who know this, who do I go and speak to, right? Who do we get assistance for? And I think, communication, confidence, right? Comfort in knowing what you can do and cannot do, very, very settled in yourself. I think that you are consistent with that, right? You show that pattern. You're really, really amazingly consistent with that. So my question is, how do you grow up so well? Because when I grow up, I want to be like you as well. It's like, were you always like this? When you first started work till now, was this like this? What's your journey like? You're shaking your head. So what was it like? And how did you grow in this space?
When I started work, I was single contributor and I was a relationship manager for 10 years, right? So always very aggressive, and it's not easy to take feedback from others since you are single contributor, and it's always about you and yourself. As long as you achieve goals and as long as you got the target delivered, that's it. I don't care about anybody else, But then with time, I think when I'm taking the leadership role, there is a shift of mindset. So it's not about me anymore. It's about team. Yeah. So, and where do I want to take this team to? Whether I want to take them to develop them to a successful one, or I want to let it just flow, without any goals and direction. I think that changed me a lot, and taking the leadership roles also, whether you like it or not, you have to take feedback, right? And you have to act on it. Whether you want to act negatively or you want to take it positively, it's your choice. So it takes time to be where I am now. So, and I'm still learning, still growing. And yeah, and I keep taking feedback and trying to be better every day.
And this is just a sideline. You're a mummy of what, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, right?
And 14, yeah.
15 and 14. Yeah. Sideline. Just suddenly remembered my 16-year-old. So Malar is shaking her head.
No, my children, when my children watch this interview, if they do, they will say, I wish my mom was half as calm as Auntie Emil. Is what they would wish. They also know that wish will never come true because mommy is not aspiring to be that way. I like myself quite a lot.
That's why I say I want to be her when I grow up. I'm totally like her. My 16-year-old will say, you're totally not like this as well.
I want to become like Emil, but I want to be myself. So Emil, I want to really, really thank you because I think for me, my greatest takeaway, as a leader, I think it takes a lot of courage to say it is okay not to be okay, right? And for me, if you ask me, that's my greatest takeaway in breaking the bias, especially for women, right? Because we are bombarded with needing to be strong, and we look at asking for support. We looking at resolving issues and getting collaborators and people to help us. We see that as a weakness, right? Whereas I think what I've taken away from you is your amazing strength within yourself. So if there's one thing that I will remember about you is how secured you are as a person, All right. You build that security as a person. And this is what a lot of leaders lack, right? A lot of individuals lack, and specifically women, because we have this ongoing list of doing everything ourselves and being this, wearing this cape of superwoman, right? You are bringing back balance to say, you know what, this is my strength, this is what I can do, and there are things I need to do but I can't do, but you know what, I know I don't have to do it myself. I can seek the help, I can seek the expertise, and all of this is what puts you into balance. But we all know this, right? But it takes courage to have the conversation, to seek feedback, to act on the feedback, and to stay on track with our purpose and goals.
Yeah.
And for that, you need great character strength. And that's what you've displayed in a quiet way. So you're this typical quiet leader who can go unnoticed because you're so strong on your own, is what I am actually taking back over and over again in the last 40 minutes of conversation with you, Emil. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much for this.
No, thank you for saying yes, and allowing us to give you a way of sharing your story with everyone. Thanks,
Yeah.
Emil.
Because
Thank you so much.
and I think, Emil, to get you here publicly was one thing, but sometimes we see strength as loudness. Today, we saw strength and authenticity coming together in a very elegant and calm form. And for that, I really, really want to thank you, because you've made International Women's Day really meaningful as what it means to be feminine, yet strong, and to stay in your own unique, authentic way. Emil, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be here and to share my experience with you all. And thank you, Sharm and Malar. I think having you in the team as well at the beginning of my new role, it's really a big help and a big blessing to me. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Have a good day, Emil.
Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Emil. All right. As we say goodbye to Emil, I felt quite emotional, but
me too.
Yeah, I felt emotional. So I'm going to just thank Mashi. Mashi, thank you so much, for all these opportunities, and a shout out to Mashi, because for people who know Mashi, will tell you what sort of learning and development leader she is. Pretty amazing. Quite difficult to great expectations, but again, Mashi, they never think too much of communication is too much, right? And that's them. I'm just going to say hello to Major Dr. Prabhakaran. He says, "Good morning, beautiful smiles to energize our day." And he says he loves the idea it's okay not to be okay. Another wonderful person who is very vulnerable. And he said, you asked a great question to Emil just now, right? So it's really funny how her calm nature actually stirred me in a way that is very meaningful and purposeful. And I just felt a lot of pride about authenticity, about elegance, about what it really means to be femininely strong.
Well said, Mother. Couldn't have said it better. Like I said, when I grow up, I want to be like
I'll take it offline with you, Singapore.
Okay. All right. Malaysia, thank you very much for joining us this week. Next week, we have another guest. Look out for the posts on LinkedIn, either on Malar's post or my LinkedIn post. Either one, we will be seeing you again next week, same time, not same place, different link. But yeah, come join us again. Let's talk to another leader and find out what helps them break the bias, or how they've been breaking the bias so well through their careers. And the journey continues. Malar, over to you.
Okay, I have to accept this compliment because it's Mashi saying, thank you for your continuous support to our leaders in the organization, to my work and personal also. Oh, love you, Mashi. Continue the good work. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Okay, so that's another thing, right? Not many people get this privilege of saying I love you to our clients. So, Mashi, thank you. So, Sham, you take care. For the rest of you who've joined us, thank you for joining us so early in the morning and supporting us. Continue supporting us till we meet up again next Thursday. Stay safe and stay happy.
Smile.
Sunshine. Bye.
Bye-bye.